I'm Sami. I'm with the artistic team for ProRituals, and I am here today because William Watley, our creative director, sought me out to do a product knowledge class for you all and get you a deep dive into ProRituals. I'm known as the encyclopedia for ProRituals. I love memorizing things, I love learning, and I love teaching. So I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. I have worked with this line for quite a few years. I believe we're going on 7 now, maybe 8. And it's grown quite a bit. It has evolved into this beautiful company, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. So I'm going to work with you guys and give you all of the knowledge that you can imagine. We're going to start with the Pro Rituals behind the scenes a little bit. So our company is a family owned company. So it's pretty amazing walking into a company like that and feeling a sense of community immediately. Not to mention the communication is always on point, which will feel so secure when you're trying to build this brand with your salon. It's an environmentally friendly company, PETA approved, which is awesome. So we do not do any animal testing at all, no cruelty at all. And we try to keep everything super recyclable and approachable so that you can feel confident that you are doing what's great for your clients and for Mother Earth. We're a small SKU brand, so we have an opportunity to really grow with you guys, which is amazing. And I love that opportunity is always out there. We're going to dive a little bit into the technology because that's the meat and the potatoes of it all, and that's the best part. So we're going to talk a little bit today about this color book. It's super important that you guys have the color book. It is very helpful. It has a lot of knowledge. Everything that you may have a question on is right here for you, and some helpful tips and a beautiful color wheel at the back. So with ProRituals, we have some beautiful Mediterranean extracts and oils that will help keep the hair super strong and shiny and give you beautiful results in your color. We have some helichrysum extract, and helichrysum extract is an anti-inflammatory. It's also going to soothe the scalp a little bit. It's going to pair with the rosemary oil, which is nourishing for the scalp as well, and going to replace some natural oils. It's going to give it a little bit of a cooling effect as well. We also have some nettle in there. So nettle is an astringent. It's going to condition the hair and the scalp with all of the above ingredients. And eucalyptus and wormwood are going to work together. It's going to contribute to that cooling effect. But wormwood is also an anti-inflammatory, and it will give an antipyretic experience, controlling that temperature of the chemical reaction. We also have chromoprism technology, which is super special to us. Chromoprism technology is very unique. It's like taking a tube of tennis balls, and that tube of tennis balls is going to be your standard color. We're going to take that tube of tennis balls, dump the tennis balls out, and we're going to fill it with teeny tiny little rubber bouncing balls that have Velcro on it so that the molecules can stick together, and you're going to fit a lot more color in that hair, giving you a truer result, shinier, longer lasting results as well. We also have micropigments, so that really pairs with the chromoprism technology. It's the actual molecule being so small that you get more than you would expect in any color. It's a beautiful light translation, and it'll give you longer results as well. We have plant-based proteins, keeping the hair nice and strong and making sure that that cuticle will stay really happy throughout the whole process, working together with some of our styling products as well. So as you can see, we have a few neutrals in our line, which is great. So we might be a small SKU line, but we have such an opportunity to truly customize anything that you could need for your client. So we have our first natural series here, and this is our N series. This is going to be a cool matte coverage. Beautiful for gray coverage, a little bit cooler. So it's going to be great if you would like to tone your blondes. Absolutely love this shade. Full gray coverage as well. And you're going to see you have 10 through 1, so you can mix and build levels. We also have our Fundamental Series. Now, some of you may ask, why is it called Fundamental Series? Well, I will tell you. So the Fundamental Series is unique because it has all of the primaries represented. And with our ChromaPrism technology and our micropigments, what it does is it'll actually send in those pigments, allowing the gold to connect first, which is great for gray coverage, because what does gray have lacking? Typically gold. So this is going to have all of your primaries, including the gold. The gold creates a bit of an anchor, and then your rest of the primaries come in to fill out that full neutral. Beautiful for mixing into any of your shades to add a bit of strength when it comes to gray coverage. We have our Cool Series. Now this down here is our Cool Series, and these are our super lifts and our high lifts. These are beautiful. This whole page is going to be a wonderful thing when you are into blonding. All of these will make great toners, and to be honest, you can use the whole line as a toner if you would like. It's all about the mixing ratio. So with these cools, we have a true cool background, and we have all the way up to level 9. So you're going to be able to really cancel out those strong undertones that you may reach when lifting some resistant hair. Now we have our high lift series here. Typically, the high lift series is mixed 2 to 1. We're going to have 1 part of our cream color and 2 parts of our developer, chosen developer, depending on how much lift you are looking for. Typically, I recommend 10, 20, or 30 volume, giving you more control over the underlying pigment. Now, of course, you are welcome to use 40 volume. However, you may reveal a little bit more underlying pigment, which is okay because we have those strong, cool undertones to help work with you in your formulation. Now, anytime I formulate anything, I will add a little bit of our dream oil into any formula. So this is going to replace the fatty acids in your hair that may be lost during the coloring process, and allow soothing for the scalp if you have someone that's super sensitive. But we'll talk more about this a little later. So we also have our super lifts. So these work together. You can intermix them together to create a powerful super lift. You can see that these are up to a level 12. And here we have level 10s. So it truly depends on what level you're looking to reach. These can also be used as toners. Now I mentioned before, it's all about the mixing ratio. So instead of doing 1 part color, 2 part chosen developer, it's going to be a little different. We're going to do 1 part color, 1 part 5 volume cream developer, or 10 if you choose, and 1 part spray treat. Now, spray treat is quite an incredible thing to add to your arsenal when it comes to being a stylist. You can manipulate the translation of light when it comes to the color and get a really beautiful gloss that you don't have to worry about lifting the scalp or breaking the base for. It's beautiful for gray blending as well. So that spray treat comes in handy quite a bit. We'll get more to that a little later. Back to these colors. We have a tobacco series. Now, the amazing thing about tobacco for me is ProRituals was the very first color company to have a true tobacco series. Now, these make beautiful lowlights, but absolutely gorgeous root colors as well, and moments in block color to give you a little pop. It's a warm background, so you can see that in the swatch. It has a yellow natural undertone. So it would be beautiful to add into your gray coverage as well for a little pop of warmth if you're feeling it. Our chocolates are a little different. Those will have a warm natural base as well, but there's a slight undertone here of mahogany, and that mahogany adds a nice richness to the color that you really want in a chocolate. I mean, I think chocolate Hershey's syrup when I think of these. They're beautiful. And our beige series are beautiful for root touch-ups, underlights or lowlights, or all over blondes as a glaze. The beige series is beautiful because it's a gold violet background. So when you're dealing with raw blonde hair, it's nice to have that soft violet come in and give you a little bit of control over that gold. But we keep it nice and warm still. It's not a cool color such as our cool family. These are my secret weapon when it comes to low lights because they are just phenomenal, and it will add a little bit of light translation that's different, but it's not too dark. So those blondes that are like, I want low lights, but they freak out anytime they see anything that's darker than a level 7, these are going to be beautiful for you. I think you'll love them. Now the Mocha series is brand new. Mocha is going to be something that's going to complement your chocolates really well, but they're not as warm. They got a little bit more violet in there. So it's going to give you more control over some underlying pigments. Makes for beautiful glazes, low lights, and an all over mocha brown. The golds are phenomenal. Golds are something that should be in everybody's arsenal. For some reason, for years, I feel like many people became afraid of golds because cool, icy blondes came in fashion. But there's nothing more beautiful than a buttery blonde that really works it. And it gives great gray coverage as well. It allows some of the light to peek through because yellow is a weaker primary, but it gives that really beautiful full coverage regardless. Now we're into our redheads, and I'm going to tell you what, if there's something that you will love out of ProRituals, it is going to be our reds. Our entire red series are absolutely phenomenal. We have our natural reds here, which are kind of like a beautiful, just natural redhead, just walked in. It almost looks like it could be a virgin head of hair. I love it as a root touch-up. Great for warm moments in a dimensional look, 3D look, if you will. And it blends beautifully with the Titan shade as well. This Titan here is a darker warm blonde, so you can get peaks and valleys working with all of our warm shades as well. And you can see we're getting a little bit more intense here with these colors, starting off with our intense copper. Now, something cool about this intense copper, this 9IC right at the top here, is that 9IC can actually be a beautiful copper boost to any of your formulas. Just 5 grams can add a nice little touch of something to get you to where you need to be without adjusting the level. It also looks intimidating, but I'll tell you something, it is beautiful as an all over color. Absolutely adore it. We have our CB series, which is a warm natural as well. It's going to be a red orange base, giving you a beautiful opportunity to tint back hair with these shades. Both of these pages are going to be great for tint backs. 7RR, you can tell that is a bold shade right there. That 7RR is going to be your intense red booster. So if you would like to add a little bit to make your reds really pop, that 7RR is going to be what you need. It can also be used as a standalone color, so do not fret. Just because these are our boosters doesn't mean that you can't use them alone. In fact, I urge that you do. They're gorgeous. And then we have just a beautiful red, true red right here with a red base that you can add anything to or use alone. I think it is a little strong for tint backs, these 3 shades, but depending on what your goal is, they can give you a beautiful fill as well. I love when we get to the red violets. I use these a lot. The red scarlets are ruby red slippers if I ever saw one. Auburns are also new to our color family, and they're a red-brown base. So these are going to be your go-tos if you are a big red-brown fan. Great for summer, great for mixing into any of your other shades to add just a little bit of warmth to, while keeping it nice and controlled. And then up here we have our red violets. These are going to be a little bit more of your violet pigment compared to your red scarlets, giving you a beautiful, almost more plum effect than your red scarlets. Now, if you're looking for plum, boy, do we have a color for you. Check out that 5i. Now, the 5i is also cool because that is going to be your violet booster if you'd like to add a punch of purple to any of your formulas. But it's gorgeous alone. The swatch just blows my mind. People fall in love for this color. It is great for all seasons, and you're really able to lock in that violet base because it actually has a bit of a green undertone. And that green is going to cancel out some of the red that you might have to fight when you're trying to get that really true plum look. Now, something that a lot of people have questions on is our metallic series. The metallics are our secret weapon to blonding. I tell you what, these are incredible. Now, these are designed to be toners. So we are going to mix them accordingly and apply them on pre-lightened hair. If you are looking to reach these shades, we also recommend that you pre-tone the hair. Fashion shades like these in blonding typically take a lot more work than our clients expect, but it's so worth it in the end. I love a good lightening session. And after I'm done lightening, I'll typically pre-tone with our 10SP, giving me a true clean blank canvas. That way I don't have to fight off any brass while I'm trying to reach my metallic shade. After I rinse my 10SP formulated for a toner, I will then apply my metallic shade, giving me the swatch colors that you see here. We do have a few additional boosters here. So these are going to be additives for your color. These are more of color correcting shades. So if you find that you're fighting some undertone and you just need a little kiss of something, these can be easy for you to control and allow that kiss without having to worry about adding too much neutral or something like that. The yellow is actually more of a true gold than a bright yellow. And the green and blue are a bit more ashy than a true fashion color green or blue. Just keep that in mind while mixing. Some of you may see the 10LB. The 10LB is not to be used as a standalone color. This is a booster to give you a bit more opening of the cuticle so that you can really get that true gray coverage. Maybe on some clients that in the past you used to pre-soften. No longer. A little bit, 5 grams of that 10LB is plenty in a 2-ounce formula to give you a little bit of lift. Also, trade secret, if you want to boost up a level as well, you can add a little bit of that to make it appear as a different level. So if you're starting with a level 6 RT, maybe you wanted a 7. 5 grams of our 10LB will make this shade appear as a level 7. I will urge that you don't go too ham on the 10LB. It is a tube of ammonia. So you want to, pardon me. So you want to make sure that you don't add a full ounce of this 10LB. Like I said before, this is just a booster to open that cuticle a little bit more, not to be used as a standalone color. Typically, our mixing ratios for our permanent line is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 part chosen developer, 1 part chosen color. With the exception of our super lifts and our high lifts here, or with the exception of creating a glaze for your blondes, in which we would use super lifts and high lifts would be a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 part developer, 1 part cream color. And our toners would be a 1 part cream color, 1 part chosen developer, and 1 part spray treat. That's going to give you your mixing ratios. As far as processing time goes, as far as processing goes, we have it labeled here if you ever have any questions. Super easy way to remember is take your developer and add 10 minutes. However, I never go under 25 minutes, especially with my toners. Love to leave those on a full processing time to get truer, richer blondes that are gonna last longer. We also have a fashion line. Now, our fashion color line is brand new to the ProRituals family. So we've grown quite a bit here on this whole page. They're lovely because you can actually add them as boosters to your permanent shades as well. So if you're looking for a little bit more violet in your 5i, maybe add a dot of your purple pro pigment to your formula. Now, please note that adding a bit of your pro pigment to your formula, it's like adding a top coat. It will just add that boost of color for a few shampoos, but it will look absolutely gorgeous and be a beautiful translation of light, giving you a pretty prismatic effect. Now, something about Pro Pigments that needs to be discussed is we are a small SKU line, like I mentioned before. So we've really given you the opportunity to customize. We believe that everybody who uses ProRituals is a true artist behind the chair. So this will give you the opportunity to be that artist and live up to your expectations of your own color work and never be limited by pre-designated tubes. And you don't have to worry about stocking 18 million shelves either, which is lovely. I love a good clean organization space. So what we have here is we have our primaries. You can see them. We have red, blue, and yellow. We also have our secondaries, which is going to be green, orange, and purple. We have a white and a clear. So some of you may ask, why white and why clear? Aren't they the same? They're actually not. White is going to be your pastelizer, while clear is going to be your brightener and giving you a bit more control over the brightness of the shade. These two also help activate the chromoprism technology involved in all of our Pro Pigments. So you are going to want to use clear or white in all of your formulas for Pro Pigments. Pro Pigments are designed to be on clean, dry hair that are at a level 10. That's going to give you that true bright translation. We want it really bright when you're working with Pro Pigments. Now, if you're looking for just a kiss of color, of course, you can put it on hair that is not a level 10. However, we urge that you leave it on a little bit longer, allowing time for the pigment to really get in there and marinate with that hair. And please note, if it is not a level 10, it may not be as bright as the swatch represented in the book. These process for a full 25 to 35 minutes. What I also recommend is leaving the color processing under heat for 15 minutes. No matter how long you process, always cool the hair for 10 minutes after, allowing that cuticle to really close and lock in that Pro Pigment shade. We also urge that you rinse in cool water. Cool water will prevent any sort of color that may be residual from getting on the hair, and it will also further lock in that pigment, allowing for a longer lasting fashion shade. In the back of the book, we have some trade secrets I'd like to share with you all. This back here is a really helpful guide. If you are ever stumped and you don't know what shade to choose, we kind of have it all laid out for you very, very beautifully. So let's say you're trying to tint someone back and you just can't decide what you want to use as a tint back shade. Well, over here, we have our tint back shades clearly listed as beautiful for a tint back. So it takes the guessing work out of your formulation. We also are an Italian color line, so we do have the number system and we go up to a level 12. This number system here will help with any formulation questions you may have as far as what is the undertone of the color. I will give you an example. Here we have our gold series. Now, you can see that there is a 4.3. So this first number here in front of that decimal point is going to be your level at which you're working from. So that tells me we're at a level 4. Beyond the decimal point, that first number there is going to be your primary pigment, the pigment that you are going to see the most. So let's say I didn't know what 3 was. Well, I'm going to go over here to our book, look at my key, and I see that 3 is gold. So I'm very clearly working with a level 4 gold. So it makes it really easy for you to formulate. You don't have to guess as to what your color is going to turn out to. It is a foolproof way of formulating, making it easy for you to transition from any color line. Our color tubes are 3.4 ounces. So you get a lot of color in these color tubes, and you can make it last a long time when it comes to application. It's a very creamy viscosity, so it will apply really nicely without slipping off of the roots, so you don't have to worry about any stray wisdom sparkles or gray hairs poking through and giving you too much light translation. As you can see here, our Pro Pigment tubes have a little bit of a different vibe, right? So this is going to be your clear and your white. They come in a bit bigger tubes. Why? Because as we discussed before, you're going to need a clear or a white in any formulation you use. Next, we have our vivid shade tubes. So the viscosity of these is very, very rich as well. It's almost like jelly icing from an ice cream cake, and it applies so smooth and even throughout the hair shaft. So you don't actually need a lot of color when you mix your pro pigments. I do say before you add your vivid shade, always start with your clear or white while mixing your pro pigments. That will give you an opportunity to see what your color is going to be like and be properly diluted without you having to mix a giant vat of color because you forgot to add your clear or white and now it's too dark. So always start with your clear or your white, then you can really see what palette you're working with. We also have tools for any stylist. So we have kind of a lot to offer for everybody. We have our balayage boards, but we also have our beautiful color book with any answers that you may need. We also have our swatches that come on a little loop, so that way you can bring them up to your guests and really see what works with their skin tone. We have gold foils as well to give you a nice pop of flare while you're doing your foil work, but they're really sturdy, so you can really keep your foils nice and locked in. We also have a quite extensive retail line. Now, you may see just a few products here, but what I see is endless opportunities. I told you we were going to mention this Dream Oil later, so I'd like to talk to you about it now. Dream Oil is a combination of really beautiful oils to nourish the hair. It's got borage seed oil, primrose oil, and that is going to replace fatty acids in the hair, giving you a really nice soothing experience for someone that maybe is a little bit sensitive to color processes. Also, it's going to give you a really beautiful shine and strength to that outer layer of the hair. Next, I'm going to talk about Spray Treat. Spray Treat, as I mentioned before, can be used in your formulas to formulate a glaze or a toner for your blondes. In addition to that, it is a wonderful take-home product. This has biotin in it and some plant-based proteins as well. So what that is going to do is that is going to lend strength to your hair. I use this before I lighten my client, after I rinse off the lightener and the shampoo, before I tone. I use this in almost every step of the process when it comes to coloring hair because it is just so amazing. We also have a liter size too. Love that. Color Fuel. We talked about Vivids, but we all know that Vivids need a little bit of love and care when it comes to keeping them and their longevity. Color Fuel is going to be your secret weapon. Color Fuel is designed to close that cuticle, allowing for the color to stay locked in tight. Now, this isn't just good for your vivid shades. This is good for your permanent shades as well, and your blondes, giving you a nice moisturizing leave-in treatment. Not a single one of my clients are allowed to leave my chair without Color Fuel, and it smells amazing, really refreshing, not perfumey, just soft, clean, refreshing smell from this Color Fuel. People love it. It has a little bit of UV protection as well because it has that sunflower extract. And as we know, sunflowers are in the sun all the time. So they got to protect their petals and protect their flower. It actually protects your hair as well. So that's going to be in a couple of our retail products. Next is our Dream Cream. So I wanted to tie that in with our Color Fuel because these are great take-home products together for your color-treated hair. It's also the most popular. Dream Cream smells like a dream. It's phenomenal, it's refreshing, it's light, it's a little bit floral, and it's a great softener for the hair. Beautiful blow dries, no frizz, and it has that sunflower extract that we mentioned before. So it's going to also protect the hair from UV rays, allowing the color to really shine for a good amount of time. We have some shampoos and conditioners that are pretty important, near and dear to my heart. So something amazing about these bad boys is they are salt-free, which means they're super safe to use on your Vivid clients. Also, they have jojoba oil, coconut oil, and it's going to add a nice moisturizing effect. It's also going to close down that cuticle at that pH so that you can really lock in the color and maintain it for a long period of time. These have 12 fluid ounces, so this will make your client very happy knowing that they'll get a good amount of product in their shampoo and conditioner bottles. Also, I like that they stand like this, allowing all of the product to get to the nozzle without having to struggle to get it out. So it makes for easy use for someone that maybe doesn't have a lot of mobility. We also have a purple shampoo. Now the purple shampoo has jojoba oil in it and lends immense amount of shine to your blondes. Great for maintaining blonde hair and keeping that icy cool look while out of the salon. You may also use it in your lightening service. Just a few grams of this in your lightener may add a punch of violet so that you can kind of control the tone as you lighten. We also have a leave-in or deep conditioner treatment. Now this is versatile because you can use this as a leave-in styler for that curly head of hair or someone that's maybe super frizzy and needs nice moisture. There's argan oil in here and aloe vera, so it's really going to also add shine, but very, very hydrating without leaving a film on the hair. You can leave this in with a small amount of this for a leave-in treatment or a blow dry, or you can add it at the shampoo bowl as a deep conditioning treatment. I like to put my guests under the dryer, let it sit, and cool for 5 minutes before rinsing to get you a super hydrated treatment. Add dream oil for a beautiful, rich, creamy, luscious, extra strong treatment, allowing to both replace fatty acids and hydrate the hair. All of our wet line can be mixed, so you can create custom cocktails for any single instance that you may need. You are never limited. Our smoothing balm is incredible for blow dries and for curls as well. The smoothing balm has a little bit of silk, so it's going to add a super touchable feel to the hair and prevent a little bit of those frizzies. It also has panthenol in it, and the panthenol is going to help kind of coat the hair and really protect it, keep it nice and strong. It works beautifully with our Glow Shine. Now, Glow Shine is also a dream. It smells like a vacation. Smells like a vacation, and it is an amazing after for your shine right before you take pictures, because you know blondes love the shine, as do we all. But it's also a good addition to give you a little bit of heat treatment protection. So that way, while you're using your hot tools, you can use our Glow Shine paired with our ProForm to give you good heat protection in any of your styling. Now, ProForm is awesome as well. This has a lovely smell. To me, it smells like cinnamon rolls. I love that. And it also is going to have a little bit of that jojoba oil, keeping the hair nice and strong and shiny. Sometimes hairsprays can really mattify the look, not ours. We also have a clarifying shampoo, and you'd be surprised to know that the clarifying shampoo does not recognize oxidative hair color as foreign. So you can use that on your clients that maybe don't shampoo every day and really get that grime out without compromising your color. Absolutely adore it. I send it home with my guests so they can prep their hair for me before they come into the salon. And with summertime, you can also use it under the dryer to pull out some of that chlorine that may be stuck in your blonde's hair. Who likes texture? I like texture. So we have a texture product. We have a few of those. I actually like to concoct these together to create like a super texture paste. But this is new to us. It's our creamy pomade. It's got a nice hold to it, demi-matte, so you don't have to worry about it being too shiny. Doesn't have to feel too matte either, so you get a little bit of light translation while it gives you a good amount of hold. You can apply this in wet and blow dry or use it as a finisher after your hair is dry. Our volume texture foam is amazing because it's a non-aerosol, which I love. That's super neat. It also has some sea salt from the Dead Sea. It's going to really give you that texture, that lived-in hair look. It also is going to keep the hair nice and strong with the plant-based proteins involved. It gives you really good slip while you're using a round brush, so you don't have to feel like it's going to be crunchy. It's amazing in curls as well. We have some new things to look forward to in our ProRituals line. I am super excited to announce that we have a new balancing shampoo and conditioner coming out. It's going to have biotin in it, so it'll work lovely with our existing products and give you a nice opportunity to really balance the pH of hair and give you that super touchable feeling. Biotin is great for giving you a little bit of protection, allowing the hair to grow more. Clients love when their hair is feeling nice and healthy, and so do we. It makes our job nice and easy. So that shampoo is going to be our best friend, paired with its conditioner as well. We have a new gel coming out, and the gel will be in a product size about this size, and it is going to be great and versatile for both your up styles, wet treatments, and your short hair, curls as well. So it's going to add nice strength without being too crispy. We have two lighteners. William, is it okay if I pause and grab the lighteners? I forgot to bring those over here. I'm just going to do it. I'll be right back. I'm going to get those lighteners. We also have two amazing lighteners. First, I'm going to talk about blue light. Blue light's incredible because its molecular compound is a little bit different. It's a bit heavier, so it can really stick to that hair. And as you're mixing, you don't have to worry about as much poof coming up into your face, which is really nice. This is going to lift you and work beautifully in foils. You can mix it 2-to-1 or 1-to-1, depending on how thick you really like your formulation. I personally do 2-to-1 mixing ratio, and I always add 5 grams of dream oil to my lightening services. And this is our new love child. This is the Power Platinum 9. Power Platinum 9 is awesome because it's going to have some of that Chroma Prism technology that's going to really help you lift past some of those tougher levels, allowing that Chroma Prism technology to give you a little bit of a violet hue as you're working with the lightener. It is going to use a bonder. So the bonder is built in here, and we do not recommend you using other bonders with our lighteners. Our bonder is really special, and what it does is it helps really protect those protein fibers. It helps really protect those protein fibers throughout the lightening service. So we don't want to add anything that is going to compromise the release time of our bonding agents, Chroma Prism technology, and our lifting power. You may use this with a 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 mixing ratio, depending on the viscosity that you like to use. This also has a little bit of kaolin clay in it, which when mixed 1-to-1 mixing ratio makes for a lovely balayage. So I love this. Kaolin clay is also really nice for the hair. It helps the hair retain a bit more moisture, which is good. And you can truly lift 9 levels with this. Chosen developers 5 through 40. However, I never go above 20 on the scalp. And we don't recommend that you use heat with our lighteners as well. Our lighteners are rather strong, so you don't need to use heat in order to get to your optimal shade. There has been a lot that we have covered with ProRituals today. We have gone from side to side on our book here. We have reached our retail products, and we've talked quite a bit about our lightening process. So I'm very, very thankful for you all today being with me here and learning ProRituals. Thank you so much and have fun. Get mixing.